excited to go back home to California to get some warm weather back in, play some games where I've been playing my whole life.
Yeah, I'd like to say the same. I think just the warm weather and also the sun, playing out an outdoor pool will be huge because all throughout high school, pretty much, I've been playing outside. So it'll be just a good time.
Yeah, I'm excited to go back home, experience, warm weather finally, get an outdoor pool, which just feels so much nicer than in a stuffy indoor one. Just going to be very, very excited to be back. Right. I'd say like the three main differences from going east to west coast. Number one is just the time change, which seems obvious, but it's always something to get over, especially when we get there, then we play the next day. So there's not much opportunity to get that settled into it, but also not that much opportunity to get too messed up by it. Number two is also just, even though playing outdoors in the sun is nice, it's also something to think about of like, oh, is the goalie staring into the sun? Are they not? Can I take advantage of that? And then number three is just like reffing styles are slightly different on the East Coast versus West Coast. So they're a bit more permissive on the West Coast of things, so people just need to be ready for that.
Yeah, I think reffing is probably the biggest difference that I've seen from East Coast versus West Coast. Playing outside is, I think it's only a plus because I'm not a goalie, so I love playing in the sun, getting a nice little tan back from being here also.
I think like a small thing is wearing sunscreen. I think that sometimes when you're applying sunscreen, your hands do get kind of slippery, and it kind of affects like how you play with the ball. So that's just kind of a small thing that we'll have to look forward to. Yeah, so I think a huge thing is just the reffing. A lot of the East Coast reffing, it's maybe not as lenient as the West Coast. I feel like the West Coast, they allow for more like physical play, and so that's something they should, get used to a bit.
I think they need to like anticipate that while it's definitely going to be warmer, you still gotta warm up a little bit longer because it is colder on the deck. So like your body's a little bit tighter, so you gotta like get used to that little bit temperature change before you get in the water.
Yeah, I would just second the reffing. I think on the East Coast you can get a little used to once I have this body position. The moment the ball gets to me, I have a call in my favor. On the West Coast, they're really going to want to see that. Sure, you have position, but you're actually making a move towards the cage. You're actually trying to do something. You aren't just settling for trying to get the call. Well, obviously we have to go back and start with the in and out, finish up with some good Mexican food because you can't get that out here. So those two food items are definitely top of the list.
Yeah, I'm looking very much forward to all the Mexican food we're gonna eat because it's so much better over there, and just seeing like friends and like that will come out to the games to watch you, where we don't really have as much fans here on the East Coast.
Yeah, I think the atmosphere in general, I think going out to a warmer weather where it's pretty much sunny will be a nice change, as well as water polo is pretty big in Southern California, so I feel like there will be a lot more people, a larger crowd to play in front of, which will be nice.
Oh, just a classic double fries, and then a soda and a vanilla milkshake. Because a milkshake is good, but it isn't a real drink, and I need that liquid to go along with the meal.
One hot chocolate, one order of well done fries, one order of light fries, one order of normal cheese fries, one order of well done cheese fries.
I like to go two separate cheeseburgers. I'm not really a big fan of the double double. I just feel like there's just too much going on, so 2 cheeseburgers. I plan to do either a bit of work, maybe nap, but yeah, maybe read a book.
I'll be watching the movies on the plane. Big movie guy.
Well, I think I'll start by telling myself I'm going to do some work, and then I will transition to playing a board game, probably Spirit Island specifically. So actually, there's this cool program called Tabletop Simulator that you can run on your computer that sort of serves as a physics engine that you can play board games on. So it's like playing a board game virtually. Miller and I do it all the time on these trips, but there isn't good Wi-Fi on the plane, so we can't play together, so we'll have to play separately. A real bummer.